Everyone, thank you so much. It's so great to see everyone. I know that when I first announced this, that I was doing this, I didn't quite explain all the details behind it. And I want to just, in full disclosure, let you guys know this was something that we're doing a test run. This is my very first time doing this. Not training so much, but this process. It's called the CNA process, and that stands for Customer Need Assessment. And we're gonna use those words interchange. When you hear CNA, now you're gonna know what that means. I know that you probably heard Kopecki's at some point mention this, and they were gracious enough to share this with us and our team. And so we want to see if this is a good thing. I would love at the end of this for feedback. I'm totally open. If you don't have my number personally, then get it to somebody who can get me the information, because feedback we're looking for. And more than feedback, I would love for you to actually go out and work this process and what it is that I'm going to talk to you about with a potential customer. And let's see your success. Let's hear about your success. And so we're going to get right into it. I'm going to share some slides. Customer volume training, and it's basically a roadmap for developing customers, keeping an organized list of our customers, knowing our customers' needs, and having a genuine relationship with the people that we're going to work with that are helping us. So we're going to talk about mindset here. And this is going to be really important for why we're establishing customer base, right? Because our goal is to get customers to support us, but we don't want them to be just a one-time customer, right? We want a customer to have a relationship with us. We want to be able to call them up and tell them about some exciting new products or introduce them to another line of products. So it's a long-term relationship you think of. And I want you to understand that when you are being authentic with your customer, and also I want you to talk to your customers about your why. Let them buy into what you're doing for your business and why you're doing what you're doing with your business, and allow them to be part of that by helping to support you. You know, this is a very genuine connection that you want to build with your customers. And you're going to explain to your customers that they are going to access world-class products, because our Amway product line are incredible products. Most of you at this point know and have experience with that. Except for the electronics in Amway, all the products that we buy from Amway have a 6-month guarantee. So there's full, and what I love, and I'm sure we've all had experiences where we have companies that don't pay for it, but they pay for shipping to be returned. So that's covered, and that's something that's nice. So you have a company that backs you and believes in their product. And what we're going to want to do with our customer is we're going to want to discover current buying habits that they have, what brands they support, and which stores they buy it from. Knowing the brands that your customer uses is very important, because that's going to give you an understanding of what they're spending their money on, how much they're spending their money on, right? We know when we have a customer who's buying maybe a store brand, that they spend less. It's not maybe less quality, it's just a lower price point. And then we might have somebody who buys a high-end national brand that we're all familiar with, and we understand by knowing that about the customer that they spend higher in that particular product line. So this is something important to understand. Brands are big indicators, and it allows us to find an equal product line within the Amway. We're going to explain to our customers that we're not looking for customers to spend more money, but instead we're looking for them to redirect their buying power and support our business. right? What do we also talk about redirecting buying power when we're showing the presentation, because I know I use that same language. But again, we're talking to a customer in this example. You want your customers to be aware that you're going to be there to fill their needs. You're not looking to push products, and that you believe in the product line. I'm going to encourage you that you want to be focused on filling a need versus making a quota or, reaching a number on your end. Because I have found that the more customers that I care for, and whether it be a small order, a first time order, I'm oftentimes going out of my way, and maybe the initial sale is not super profitable, but yet that relationship and the ability to serve that customer is there, and then we end up having a customer for life. Right? We're going to talk about thank you notes later on. I'm going to just share some things that are working and can create loyal products. We want to definitely behind the scenes provide service like they can't get anywhere else. And that's a little bit of what I just mentioned with a thank you card. Like, we like to be aware when our customer is getting a product and how maybe 2 or 3 days later, they're now receiving a thank you card from you for supporting, and you might have a little personalized statement in there. I highly encourage that you have a personalized statement in there saying, hey, it was so great to speak with you. Good luck with whatever maybe they discuss with you, or have fun on your vacation if that's what's, going on. We want to be the one that's providing our customer with top-notch service. You want to make sure that all your interactions with your customer reaffirms why they support us. Now we're going to go into the process. What is it that we do with our customers, and how are we going to go about establishing a relationship with our customers? So first, we're going to build a list of our probable purchasers. This list is basically saying who is my probable purchaser, and it's going down immediate families, extended family, who lives long distance, who was a coworker, who wants to lose weight, who's having pain in their back, anything. You're going to just be able to run off a list of people, and this is going to help you remember. There's also something that says who your person is, and maybe what needs they have or what product line you'd like to sample them. We're going to have you connect, and that connection is going to be very authentic, whether it be a phone call, a Zoom meeting, a text message, however it is that you normally connect with that person is the same way you're going to connect with them. And what you're going to do is basically share with them why you thought of them. And again, this is in the same manner that you would be doing this anyhow. It's going to be an organic conversation. You're going to let them know why you recently thought about them. You're going to let them know what your goals are. And now in business, that you're in business and you have some goals. And again, when you share your goals with customers, you're allowing them to buying into a goal of yours. Let them know that you thought about them. The CNA process is about a 20 to 30 minute phone call, Zoom call. You can't do it on text. I definitely don't recommend do that. You're going to want to set some quality, you want to be intentional on your calendar, and you're going to set this CNA call on, and it's going to be basically all the needs. And you're going to go through every question. And again, I'm going to share this with you also. And this basically goes through our entire product line. That's what you're going to be able to share. I have a few different versions of this, and one of them is completely something that you can edit yourself, put your personalized business name on it, and you're basically going through the entire product line. And the reason you're going through the entire product line is because maybe your customer only knows about Amway and cleaning products, right? But that's what they remember. Oh, my grandma used to use a detergent. I love the detergent. Please order it for me. But now you have the chance to go through all these product lines with your customer. So you're reminding them that you have more to offer. Again, you want to do this in about 20 to 30 minutes. You want to identify your customers' buying habits. So you're going to set up, when you're done with your CNA process, at the end of that, you're going to go through and you're going to ask for permission to set them up as a customer. When you set them up with a customer, you are letting them know that this is totally free for them. There's no cost to be a customer, a preferred customer. But what that's doing is almost guaranteeing that you have the proper information that you need to have a customer on your profile. And by setting up a customer, you're now giving them access to the website, and they'll continue the process on their end, setting up the username and password. At the end, once they have the shopping list and they have a customer number set up, you're going to do one of two things. You're going to allow them access to the form. I love catalogs. I know that's a little less popular today, but I think the catalogs are wonderful. If you have the ability to drop off catalogs, drop off samples, I'm a big proponent of samples. I think once you learn about your customers and now you can continue, the more times you see that customer in person or you send them something through the mail, depending on where they live, the more times you connect with them, the more they remember you, right? Fair to say this is totally customary, right? If anyone's ever worked in sales, one of the first things they'll tell you to do is write out a list of potential customers or clients, depending on what you're selling. And that's a very typical process, right? So nothing out of the ordinary. Somebody in sales probably knows exactly what I'm talking about here. When you're talking to your customers, of course, they're not obliged. There's nothing that they have to do, clearly. But you want to stay away from verbiage like, there's no pressure. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to support me. Because this language shows a lack of confidence in your product line and what you're doing. You know that you have a company that's backing you with 6 months guarantee and all their product line. So you want to be confident. It's okay. And if you need help in learning about a product line, we're going to go down that road with training, additional training. I myself am going to do some training on skincare and our supplements and some of our sports nutrition products, because I'm a huge fan of the Amway product line overall, and I love our products. In fact, I consider myself an Amway product snob because those are the only products that I have and that I want. Even when I travel, I won't do anything unless I'd rather take home dirty clothes than do anything with dirty clothes when I travel, because I have to wash it in my detergent. And so that's just, I love our supplements. I am a big proponent of those. I use a ton of them, especially during this season in where we are right now and how important our immunity is. But I'm not going to get too sidetracked, but that's going to be further on down the road. I'm going to be cutting some videos for some training on products. At the end of your CNA process, you want to thank the customers. You want to explain that if there's any products that they have questions about, you're willing to give samples, and that they're going to receive, when they're setting up a customer number, they're going to receive an email from Amway. I really try to encourage my customers at that point in time to do that process and to set up a username and a password for the website so that they can either gain access. And you're going to have two types of people, or even more than two types of people. You're going to have the person that's self-sufficient, goes online, is super familiar with shopping online, and will just go ahead and place the order themselves. You're also going to have people who are hesitant because maybe the budget for the month has been exceeded and maybe right now they're not ready to buy something. and that's okay. And then you're going to have the person who might need a follow-up, and they may tell you so. You know what? I'm not ready to place the order right now, but in a few days, maybe you can follow up with me, and then we'll continue the ordering process at that point. Always ask for permission. Don't just continuously bombard one person or one customer unless you're asking for permission. I think that's really important. You know, hey, would you mind if I gave you a call or followed up with you in a few days? Again, just overall courtesy. So you've set up an account, you've given them access to the website, they've followed through. Now, at this point, whether they place an order or not, you can take the extra step and send a thank you card for just taking the time out to set up a CNA process and spending that 20 to 30 minutes. Or you can wait until they place an order and then follow up with a thank you card a few days after they receive their items in the mail. Now, you have full access to the website. You'll get notification when your customer products ship. You can access all that information. And you can know when they get their products. When things that are new come into someone's household, I always recommend that you follow up with a phone call and say, hey, do you have any questions? Do you remember how to use everything that we talked about? You know, our cleaning products are concentrate. Our skincare sometimes, maybe they don't know the steps. They don't remember if the cleanser and the toner and the, you know, when to use each product. So you might want to just walk them through those things after they receive their products. Why? Because I've had a few experiences where I have new customers and they receive their order, and then guess what? Because they don't know how to use it or there's some confusion, they just leave it off to the side and they don't use it. And guess what? A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks passes by, and maybe I didn't follow up, or maybe they decided not to follow up for whatever reason. Now I have 3 weeks of potential usage that passed me by. So I had 3 weeks of skincare that could have been used and results that could have been seen, and now I'm behind schedule because I didn't follow up. So I recommend you definitely follow up with your customers. Make sure they remember how to use things, that they know what they bought. And specifically, you know, obviously there's directions on everything, but it's always that added touch that allows them thing. I want to talk about when you set up a shopping list and when you send those thank you cards, right? Just make sure that you send samples all the time. I love talking about also something that I wasn't really too familiar with, but we all have AmPerks now. And the AmPerks setup is the responsibility of the customer. But I would highly encourage you to take that extra step. Once the customer is set up, have them go on to their customer site via Amway and click that they are willing to enroll in AmPerks. They just have to check a box and, you know, say that they're willing to participate. And with that, there's added benefits to being a customer. And I believe it's over $90 of purchase, they get free shipping. So there's added benefits. So you want to get your customers involved. Everyone likes points. My kids know whenever they go to a store, I'm the first one to say, did you use my phone number? They know everywhere there's a perk available or a point attached to anything that we spend. If I'm going to do it, I might as well get the benefits, right? It's the same thing. Your customers are feeling the exact same way. So learn how to enroll in the AmPerks and get your customers to, you know, I know recently I had a sale and it was beneath the $90 by just a few dollars, like $10, $12. And the customer wanted the free shipping. And instead of placing that order under $13 under, they ended up adding another item that I was able to reference off of their CNA sheet. And my order went up to $115. So now we jumped way over. They got the free shipping, and I got an additional $20 or so in cost, retail cost. So I was happy. They were happy. It's a win-win, right? So make sure you're doing that with your customers. I initially dropped the ball. I didn't really understand the perks of AmPerks when it first started, but I'm quickly getting to familiar with that, and I hope you are too. Again, this is one step. We're going to talk about. I'm going to show you what building the list. This is what we're going to be able to send and share with you. When you have a phone call, if you want to use this initially, I think this is great because it'll help you stay on track. Again, when you're doing something for the first time, there is no shame in using a script or having some notes in front of you. It's okay. You know, it's totally normal. But I definitely feel that establishing a rapport, letting them know why you're calling. And look, it even says on this sheet, don't say you don't have to buy. There's no pressure. You're a business owner. We're going to stay confident. We're going to go through this. I'm going to share this with all of you. Printable client needs, and you're going to go through all your products. I'm going to give everyone some homework. I hope you all are ready. This is really simple homework, but again, this is all about developing and growing your business. And we're going to have an incredible 2022. And we're going to start with increasing our client base. And I'm going to ask you all, if you would be so kind, put a list together. I want you to put together a list of top 10 probable customers, right? Who are the people that you have spoken to recently, who have expressed a need, who obviously are consumers, right? That's everyone. Everyone there is a consumer. And I'm going to have you write out your why. Why is this customer going to support you? What are some things that you're looking yourself to attain this year in 2022, right? And share those goals with your customers and let them know that by them purchasing products that they were already going to purchase anyhow and supporting your business, they're helping you accomplish those. And we're going to start making calls and booking CNAs, which is exactly customer needs assessments. And we're going to start sharing this. There's going to be some follow-ups. I believe this is going to be more of a series to give you more and more information. I just wanted to get this started. I wanted to help you guys get the month started, get the year started off on a track that we can all calculate, right? And we're going to say, hey, I learned about the CNA process and I got the ball rolling. I'm going to share some paperwork with you, and we're going to start our customer base and get some knowledge base under our clients and help our clients understand just how vast our product supply is and how supported Amway is with our customers, right? Because 6-month guarantee doesn't happen very often. And when a company backs their products up for 6 months, we know they stand behind their products. And I know I'm preaching to the choir because you're all IBOs and you're all supporting your own business. But of course, it's always great to be able to share this and pay it forward. Thank you so much. Again, I want everyone's feedback, considering that we did this in about 30 minutes. I want everyone's attention, obviously, to be at the top end. I don't want to lose anyone. So we're going to try to keep them concise, and we're going to move into a further series. If there's something specific, training that you would like, that you feel would be super helpful for you and your client base, I would love to know about that. Please share that with me. And then if it makes sense, then we'll put together a training revolving around that subject. But thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful night.